Okay guys, we are live. So hello everyone, I'm Harshal Jain and today we are going to build a calculator using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So as you can see, like it's not a very big project, but yeah, it's good for those people who have just started with HTML, CSS, JavaScript and need a good project who which actually acts like you can actually use HTML, CSS, JavaScript all together in this project. Okay, so this project is totally for beginners and we are going to actually add some features to this. First of all, this is just a normal calculator. Second thing is we'll be adding this dark theme and light theme switch. Third thing would be like all the buttons would be again functional. And the fourth thing would be that I would be adding sound to these buttons. That means if you click on this, you would hear a sound. Okay, right now I'm recording, I'm taking the live session, that's why you might not be able to hear the sound. But yeah, we are going to add audio to this button click so that you know yeah how audio is added. Okay, so we'll see all of these things. And one more thing guys, I'll provide the source code also. So for getting the source code, you can check out my GitHub profile. At the end, I'll upload the source code there. You would get the repository. So, hi Susan, hi Arya, hi AB Sathi. Okay, hello everyone. Okay, let me just show you my GitHub profile. So from here, you can get the source code. You just need to type github.com/VIRAJJ014 and there you can check out the repositories. Here, I would upload the repository at the end of this video. Okay, so I would show you how to get the code. So let's start with the coding part first. Okay, then we'll upload that, right? So our main goal is to first of all create a simple calculator like this. And one more thing is we have to add features. So you can see according to the theme you can see colors change, and also you can see that switch is properly working, and also you can see that here I can actually do some operation, for example 78 into 9. So you can see that yeah, it's just like a normal calculator, it works like that. Okay, so yeah, this is just for going one step backward like this. Okay, and suppose if it's empty and if I press equal to, so you can see nothing happens. Okay, nothing happens, just we get 0, right? So we're gonna apply all of this logic using HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So let's begin. So first of all guys, you would need one thing, that is you would need VS Code. So for that you just need to go to your browser and you just need to search for VS Code, and it would take you to the official website of VS Code, the first link. This is built by Microsoft, so this is an IDE which we use for writing code, mostly like all of the web development part, or if you're talking about languages like Python, C++, all of them can easily be coded here. Okay, so you can write programs for those languages here. That's why I use this. And you can see you can just download this, and once you click on this, it would download the VS Code setup for you. So first of all, it would download. Then what you can do is you can just install this by clicking next, next, next. While installing the setup of VS Code, just check all the checkboxes so that you get all the shortcuts which we use. Okay, that's it. So when mine is already downloaded, so I won't continue from here, so I would just directly jump into the VS Code part. Okay, then what you have to do is you have to simply you can go to any folder where you like to create the project. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to create a folder here. So I'll just say new folder. Okay, and I'll just name it something like let's name it again as Neumorphic clock, and this is a live session, so I'll just make it live. Okay, that's it. So here we are going to write the complete source code. Mainly the three things are here: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and one more thing is an additional file, that is the audio file. Okay, so I'll just start writing from here. First of all, I'm gonna say that we have a very basic HTML file, so I'll say that it's index.html, right? Similarly, we have style.css. Similarly guys, we have script.js. And now what we're going to do is we're going to combine all of these three into index.html file. So I'll just type this exclamation sign, and then you can see that we got this shortcut. Okay, so this is the boilerplate, so I can actually name it as calculator. Okay, and now inside the body, let me just say that we have h1 tag, and I would just type this and let me just check if it's working or not. So for that, what we can do is we can just open this, and I'll just show this to you. So in my browser actually it would open something like this. So you can see, yes, we are getting this text. That means it's working properly. So now what we're going to do is we are simply going to write the code for that. Okay, so guys, for that what we can do is we are going to use display flex also, flex also, and display grid also. Okay, so for that, first of all, here we can say that we need to show an audio. Okay, so I'll just type a comment here, and we need to show an audio. That means we need an audio tag to actually play an audio. So we'll be creating an audio tag and then providing the src. So I'll provide the mp3 format link of this audio which we are using right now. So this is actually a button press sound. Okay, so that's it. So you will get this when I upload the source code. There you would get this. I'll share this. Okay, so we'll be adding audio later on, but right now at the top you can add, or at the bottom, anywhere you can add. So here I'm just going to say, first of all, we have a division. Later on we'll add the audio. So I'll just say we have a class as calculator. Okay, I'll just give it a class of calculator. That's it. And guys, inside this, I would say, first of all, we have a display of the calculator at the top. Okay, so it would be just a division, and inside this we have an input tag. Okay, so here itself I can just say we have a division and then class, and I would just name it as display. Okay, display. And then guys, you can just close this. So inside this we need an input tag which shows our inputs. Okay, that means whatever operation you are performing, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or result, whatever you are performing, you need to get the output, right? So at the top you are going to create this. So guys, I'm just going to say we have an input of type equals text. Then you can see that it's actually having an ID of, suppose, result. Okay, and then I would just say it's disabled. Disabled simply means that you can't write anything directly on pressing this input. I would be adding data to this input using my buttons. That means the calculator buttons. From that I would actually do perform operations. Okay, that's it. So right now actually it's not disabled, I'm sorry, it's read only. Okay, it's read only, right? That means I'm saying that I can't directly type anything inside this input. So you would see that I have this input, but if I just press on this and if I try to write anything, I won't be able to do this because it's only read only. Okay, it's read only. That's what is the purpose of read only. This is done. The top part is done. Now below this we need to show our buttons. Okay, so we have the display. We need to show our buttons, but in between that we actually are also going to show the toggle button for light theme and dark theme. So I'll just say here we are going to say that we have a theme switch. Okay, here we are going to have a theme switch. So let me just create a theme switch here itself. So I'll just say we have a division, and I would just say class, and I would just say theme, and then switch. Okay, so I would just say theme switch. Inside this we are going to create a switch. What kind of switch? So you can see actually this kind of switch. So you can see that we have a switch, right? If I click on this, you can see this is actually a switch. Okay, that's what we call it. Okay, so inside this we are going to create this from scratch. Okay, so we are going to say that we have an input tag, and then the type of this would be checkbox. Okay, checkbox, check, uncheck, check, uncheck. Okay, like that. And then guys, I would just say it has an ID of theme toggle. Okay, we also call it as a toggler, so theme toggle. Okay, so just create this input tag. That's it. Now guys, after this we would also have a label. Okay, so we're going to hide this label, show it as a button. We'll do that. So yeah, we are also going to have a label, and guys, I'm just going to say that it has a it has a for of which what you're referencing to. So I'm referencing to this input, so I would just say for this input. Okay, that's it. That means this label is actually reference to this input. That's it. Now I would also give this label a class of theme toggle label, because we are going to just manipulate these designs. Okay, so that's it. So right now what you would see is, if I just show you here, you can see I'm getting this an empty label. Also I'll also have an empty label. Okay, that's it. This is an empty label, right? We are going to use this later on. So this is it. We have the switch also. Now what else you need is you need buttons. Okay, so you would be needing buttons. So here I'm just going to say we need buttons. Okay, so buttons. So for the buttons, what guys I can do is I would just say we have a division. Okay, and let me just name it as class as keys. Okay, so I would have all of my keys here, right? So first of all I would have a backspace button. Okay, so I would just say we have a button. Inside this I would just show my backspace. Okay, so let me just tell you what kind of design I want. I want a backspace, then all clear, then percentage sign, then division, then similarly like this. Okay, so I want all these signs. So for those I would be creating buttons. Okay, so let's do this. Right, so for that guys, what you need to do is, again, you'll come here, and here I would just say, first of all, my first button would be backspace. So for that we need an icon like this. So how can we bring the icons? So right now it's empty, our project is like this, and you can see that the button doesn't have anything. But what I want is, I need an icon here. Okay, I need an icon here. So for that I can simply search for hero icons. That's it, hero icons. So you can see this is hero icons, and guys, here I would just look for the back button. Okay, so I would just type back. You can look for any other icon. Here I would just type back. So you can see we have a lot of options here. What I can say is, I would just pick this one. So I have to copy SVG. So copy SVG, and then after this you can just paste that SVG here. That's it. It's very easy to just add icons like this. Okay, SVG icons. Now let's see how it looks. So our page is this, and you can see that this like right now it's too tiny, that's why it's not visible. But yeah, our button is there, our button is there. That's it. So for the first button is here, that is the backspace button. Then guys, we are gonna have the all clear button. So I would just say that we have a AC button, that is all clear, right? Similarly, I'm gonna say we have a percentage button. So let's write button, and then we have a percentage button. Okay, percentage button, that is for taking out the percentage, right? Then we have the division button. So we have a button, and it's for division, so division sign, that is slash. And then we have numbers. So I would just say that is we have number 7, 8, 9, and then plus sign, actually star sign. Then we have 4, 5, 6, and then we have minus sign, and 1, 2, 3, and we have plus sign, then we have 0, then we have equal we have a decimal sign, and then we have equal to sign. Okay, so these are all the signs which we have, and these are all the buttons which we are gonna have. Okay, so you can see we all have all of these buttons. So you can see right now nothing is working here because we have to make them work. Okay, so first of all, what I'm gonna do is, I'm simply going to add some style to these. So guys, what I want is, this equal to button would be having some different style. Okay, so you can see this equal to button has some different style. So I'll just say that this has a unique style. So I would just say class and equal btn. That's it, equal btn. That's it. So we have the buttons also, and later on we're gonna add JavaScript to this. But first of all, let's complete the CSS part. Okay, so the first thing was the audio. Now let's complete this audio part also. So audio is very simple. I'm just going to use audio tags so that we are allowed to play audio. So audio tag, let me just give it an ID of button sound. So BUTTON SOUND, button sound, right? And then inside this, guys, what I can do is, I would just say we have a source, and source would be having the audio which I want to play. So I want to play this audio, right? So I would just add the source inside this. Okay, so here guys, inside the src, I'm just going to say button click.mp3. okay, I would just add the audio file which we have inside this project. That's it. And then after this, guys, I would just say the type of this is audio mpg. That's it, that's it. Okay, so you can see that our audio is here. Right now our audio won't play because we haven't provided the functionality on what purpose you want to play the audio. We can actually do that via using JavaScript. So we'll do that via JavaScript. Okay, now our HTML part is almost done. So now we are going to focus on the CSS part. Okay, Shivika, nice approach. Hi sir, please make Next.js project playlist. Definitely, we will be making next year's projects. Actually, these are some last of the HTML, CSS, JavaScript videos which I'm making. After that, I'm going to focus on React.js and Next.js, which are the newer front-end UI designs which we make on Next.js or React.js. So in that, we are going to make better UI and definitely more customization, more features. So yeah, I'll be making projects definitely on Next.js because it's currently on trend. Okay, so thanks for the suggestion. Now we have this front end done, HTML part done, right? We have the HTML part done. Now we're going to say that we are going to just add some CSS to this. But first of all, let's have a look. So our main goal is to actually achieve this. So you can see that our final goal is like this. So you can see that if I refresh, it's dark. Okay, it's dark. If I just show you like this, you can see it became light. Okay, now if I refresh, so it would stay light. That means it's remembering your theme. Now suppose this is the final project, by the way, and currently we are working on this. Okay, so this is the final thing which you would get. So suppose for the final thing, right now it's light. Okay, so if I paste it somewhere else, so it would stay light. Okay, it would stay light. Okay, but suppose here if I suppose change the theme, okay, now if I just copy this and I reopen this someday later or sometimes later, so you can see now it's dark by default. So your theme is also remembered here. So we're going to apply that logic also, and then we are going to design these buttons, and then according to the theme the button would look like that. Okay, so let's do this now. So guys, for that it's very simple. Like you are going to toggle your light theme and dark theme using JavaScript, but you have to just first of all make a simple theme. So I would be starting with light theme, and using JavaScript I would start the dark theme. Okay, I would make the theme as dark. Let's do this. So for this we have to simply say that we have the style.css file. I would come here and I would just say style, and I would just say I'm sorry, it's for the link tag. So link rel, and here we are going to say that we have the css file. So in the same directory we have to look for what we have to, okay, it's actually style sheet, style sheet. Okay, and here we have to give the href equals, and inside this we'll get the suggestion. Okay, yeah, that's it. I'm just saying that our css would be here. So we have just connected our css. That means you would be writing the css here and it would be used in this html page. Okay, so let's come here, and here I'm going to say that we have the body, right? So we have the body tag outside. So I'm going to say that we have the body. Okay, we have the body tag, and here I can say that my display is flex. Displays flex. So let me just show you this page, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split this apart. Okay, so yeah, that's how it would look. So you can see that we have display flex, and right now you can see if I refresh, you can see nothing happens. But let's start. So I'm going to say that flex direction would be column. That means I'm saying everything inside this page would be in column. Obviously we only have one division tag. That means we only have one division tag, so obviously it would be just single tag. So flex direction actually it's not required here. So I just want to say that I want all of that. That means this calculator, this division in the center of my page. How can I bring that? So we can actually use flexbox. That's what we are using. So I would just say that display flex, and then I would just say that align item center. Okay, so if I make align item center, so you would see that align item center and justify content center, so you would see that things would be now in center. Okay, so if I just save this, you can see things are now in center, but the problem here is it's not in center height wise. So what we can say is we have to give it full height, because right now it's having the minimum height. Okay, so if I give it full height, that means body has full height, then it would be coming in center. That means everything inside the body would be in center. So I would just say that the height of the body would be 100 vh. That means take the page size, complete page size. So you can see that's how it actually looks. Okay, and guys, one more thing, I'm going to say that we don't need any margin for this, so just remove the margin. And what else can you remove is you can also remove the padding and different things which we have by default. Okay, that's it. So that's it. Now we're going to say that we need some background colors also, right? We need some background colors. So for that, guys, I'm simply going to say we are going to declare variables so that we can write the color again and again by the variable names. So it's easy to change the colors. Okay, and it would really help in JavaScript to just manipulate the colors. So here I'm just going to say we are going to define some colors. Okay, we are going to define some colors. How we can say that? So right now I'm just going to do this for light theme. Okay, I'm just going to do this for light theme, but later on we are going to toggle the dark theme also. So initially the app would be in light theme, so I'm just going to declare colors for light theme here. Okay, so for that what you can do is I would just say first of all we have a variable named as bg color. Okay, we have a variable named as bg color. So here I'm just saying that we have a variable named as bg color, and its color would be something like this. So how do I pick the colors? Okay, how do I pick the theme colors? I'll just show you how you can pick the theme colors, but let me just paste some colors here. Okay, so we have a text color also. Okay, so I'll paste the text color, and similarly we have the keypad bg color. Okay, this is also a variable, and then we have keypad bg color 2. Okay, that's it. So we have these colors, and I'm just going to give them some values. So this text color would be having this value. Okay, similarly this keypad bg color would be having this value. Okay, so all of the code would be provided, so you can just choose my theme directly, or I would just show you how I picked a theme color. Okay, matching theme color. So right now you can see these are some color combination. How did I decide the color combination? So it's very easy. I just went to color themes. Okay, just type this color themes, and here you would get a lot of websites. You can go to any of these websites. Color Hunt is a good website, or Colors is a good website. So you can just visit here and you can search for different colors. You can see that a combination of colors are here. So if you need some colors, like combination of 4 5 colors looking perfect together, so you can look here and you would get different combinations, right? You can also search light here, so you would just get light colors here, right? Light. Okay, so you can see you would get light colors here. Similarly, if you want dark colors, so you can just search for dark. Okay, so it's very helpful for beginners who don't know the color code and who feel that their UI doesn't look good because of their imagination. So you can always pick the color codes that actually makes more sense, and it's always better. Like, you don't need to decide the color codes, you can just pick color codes from here and your theme is already matching with everything. Okay, so it's very beneficial. You can use these color codes, very beneficial. Okay, you can just directly copy from this, so you can copy from this and you can paste that from anywhere. Okay, now let's come back, and what I want is, right now our app looks like this and you can see it looks like this. Okay, so what we want is, first of all, in the body I'm gonna give some background color. Okay, I'm gonna give some background color. So here it said, I'll just say that background color, and let's say we have which variable for background color. So for that, first of all, you need to define, you have to write where. Inside this you have to write whatever variable you have defined here. Okay, so I'm going to say that my bg color would be the variable. So it's very easy to write here. Okay, so now I'm just saying my bg color would be actually this color. Okay, so I'm going to use this name everywhere, so later on if I change this color, the name doesn't changes, and it's easy to change the color anywhere. That's why I'm using variables here. Okay, so it's a very good approach and you must always follow this approach, right? Then we have the calculator class. Okay, so here you can see inside the body we actually have the calculator class. Okay, don't worry about this audio. This is, you can consider just something which must be there to play audio. Okay, it has no significance here. You won't be showing this in this page. Okay, you would be hearing the audio, you won't be showing the audio, right? So that's it. So here we have to come and we are talking about this calculator. Okay, so I'll just copy this class and we are going to design this. Okay, so I'll just say my calculator would be of some mobile size. Okay, that means 16:9. Okay, so I can just say that first of all the width is 100%. Okay, width would be 100%, and I would just say aspect ratio would be let's say 9 by 16. Okay, so you have to write 9 by 16 so that you get a mobile design. Okay, and if I just refresh, okay, what I have to do is I also have to say that maximum width of this can be what, maximum width of this can be, suppose 350 pixel. Okay, so if it's 350 pixels, so you can see it looks like this. Okay, what else you can say is I want to give some background color to this. Okay, so I would just say background color, and I want keypad color. Okay, so keypad bg color, I want this as a background color. Okay, so now if I refresh, okay, it's actually same, almost same. That's why it's not looking not that much different. So what we have to do is we have to give some lift. Okay, we have to give some lift. For that, what you can do is either you can change the color. If you want, you can change the colors also. You can get better colors or darker colors, whatever you want to actually highlight this. Or else what I can do is I can just show box shadow. Okay, so first of all I would just say that we have a box shadow, and box shadow, and I'm just going to say 0 0 10. Okay, 10 pixel, and then we would say that we have white color. Okay, so RGB, and we have to pick the colors from here. So I would just first of all say that white colors. Okay, okay, just a second. So white colors, that's it. And here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to just decrease the lightness. Okay, so that it's a little bit more transparent, and you can see that I get some box shadow. Okay, it's little bit lifted and I got some box shadow. Okay, that's it. Now what we're gonna say is we need some border radius also. Okay, let me just make it a little bit more darker so that everyone can see this. Later on I'll remove this. Okay, so right now you can see it looks like this, and what I want is I want some border radius. Okay, I want some border radius. So here I would just type 20 pixel or 10 pixel, whatever you want, and yeah, you can see it's like this, some border radius. Then I would say we need some padding, so we need some padding. I would just say 20 pixel would be fine for this. So 20 pixels, so you can see we have some padding also. Okay, and you can see that the size is almost similar to the mobile device, so it looks cool, right? Now we can say that we need one more thing, that is display flex. Whatever items are inside this, I want display flex, and you can see by default flex direction became row. What I want is I want to make it flex direction as column. Okay, so you can see flex direction is now column. Okay, now I'll say that there must be some gap in between each item. So what items I'm talking about is, you can see calculator actually has three divisions. So I'm talking about these three divisions: first row, second row, third row. Okay, that's how it actually looks. So we are gonna say we are gonna have some gap in between them, okay, in these three. So I'm just going to say that here gap is what, around 10 pixel. That would be fine. So you can see 10 pixel. Okay, that's it. Now we have designed this, and what else do we want is, we can actually bring things in center also, or else you can do as per your wish. Like, I think this is fine. We are going to design these elements individually. Okay, now we're going to design these elements individually. First of all, we have the display inside. Okay, could you please start sessions on Laravel 10? Okay, I'm not that great in Laravel, but I would look if someone in Geeks for Geeks is proficient in Laravel. But definitely, I'm a Stack developer, so I'll try to bring sessions on Stack mostly. But let's see if in future, if I became good at Laravel, then I would be bringing sessions also. Okay. Rock shots. Okay, thanks. So now let's continue. Okay, so till now we have just made a very basic template. Now we want to say that this is the display, right? What actually is it? You can see that this is the display. This is the division. Inside this division, we have the input. So we have to now design this. We have to design this. So here we'll come back inside the calculator dot calculator. We have our display division. Okay, it's a division. So display, and this is actually a division. So I would just say we have a background color, and let's say it's having a variable background color. Let's say again BG color. Okay, so BG color. And now what else? I'm going to say that border radius would be around 5 pixel. And right now it's not that much visible because obviously the same colors are here, and that's what I wanted. Now what I would say is, I would also say that we have some box shadow similar to the above. So I would just give some box shadow, and let me just make it white again. Okay, that's it. So you can see that, yeah, you would get a box shadow like this. You can see that the box is here. That means display division is here. You can see complete width is taken by display division, and this is a small input tag. You can see this is the small input tag, and over this we have this division. Okay, what I would say is, this input tag would be taking whole space. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. Okay, so first of all, one more thing is, I would just say that we have given padding also, so we have to give padding also. Okay, padding would be given. And what else? I want text align to be in right. That means whatever you write in the calculator starts from the right side. That's why I would just say text align would be right. So you can see automatically every content would be starting from the right also. Okay, that's it. And now what else? I want the color also, so I would just say that color would be text color. Okay, so that means whatever you're gonna write inside this would be according to the text color. Okay, so right now the buttons are not functional, but if it works, they would be according to the text color, right? Actually this is not for the text color. Okay, we are going to do that in the input part. I'm sorry, this is not for the division. For the division, this is fine. Now I think this is it. We can give some font size also. Okay, some font size also. That means whatever you're gonna write would have some default font size. And you can also say that it has some height of 20%. Okay, so that's what I've given. So you can see that this looks a little bit bigger, and now according to this we are going to design our input. Okay, so again I'm going to say that inside the display we have the input, right? Inside the display we have the input tag. So I would just say again, the display input tag would be having 100% width. Okay, 100% width. So you can see it looks like this. And you can also say height is also 100% if you want. So you can see full height is taken actually. And then I would just say background color is actually transparent. So there is no background color for this input. So it takes the background color of the display division. Right. So after this, we don't want any border. We also don't want any outline. Okay. So I would just say outline would also be none. That's it. So you can see now we have a pure input tag. Okay, and one more thing, you can see it's starting from left side, so I wanted to start from right side. Okay, so for that what I can do is, I would just say text align as right. Text align as right. And what else is, actually we don't really need text align here, so I'll just remove it from here. And what else can I remove is, I want font size here. Okay, I want font size here. We don't need font size there. Okay, that's it. And I think we have designed this input tag. Right now what I have done is, I've simply set it as read only. That means you can't type anything here directly. But now let's try to type here. So you can see it's like this. Okay, it's like this. What else can I do is, I want the color. Okay, I want the color. So here itself I would just write color, color. and it would be again a variable text color. Okay, so now let's try to write something. So you can see it looks like this. Okay, so we have the color also, right? We have the color. Now we want to say that our buttons, that is the keys, would be styled. Okay, so we would just say what keys we are talking about. You can see we have a whole division which contains all of our buttons. Okay, which contains all of our buttons. So we have to actually style this. Okay, so here itself I'm going to say that suppose if I say that we have the keys division, right? So we have the keys division, and I want to show them as a grid of 3-4 buttons in each row, right? That's how it actually looks. So you can see that we have 4 buttons in each row. So we would be creating a div, creating a grid, okay, a display grid of 4 items in each row. Let's do this. Okay, so we are going to use display grid in this case. Okay, in this case for the keys. So for the keys, I would just say first of all display is grid. So display is grid, right? Display is grid. So you can see that it's now taking the full space. But instead of this, I want 4 in a row. Okay, 4 in a row. So I would just say grid template rows, grid template rows. Inside this, I would just say repeat, and I would just say 4 items taking equal space in a row. Okay, that's it. So you can see that's how it actually works. Now you can see that equal to button is actually different because we are going to give a little bit bigger size to the equal to buttons. That's why I've left some empty space. So we'll fix that later on. But right now you can see that that's how it actually works. Okay, so now we have given some space also, and we want some gap between them. So 20 pixel is the gap. So you can see we would have some gap in between, right? And I want this whole keys to take 80% of the height. Okay, that means the display is taking 20%, so I want the keys to take 80%. Okay, so you can see now according to that you can see we have the elements, right? And also one more thing, I would make my cursor as pointer as soon as I bring my mouse over these. Okay, I think, okay, I have to do this for buttons, I guess that's why it's not working. Anyways, so now we're going to say that we have buttons also. So we are going to design our buttons, that is inside the keys we have all of our buttons, right? So we are going to say we have the buttons. So first of all, the background color would be bg color, bg color. Okay, so you can see, yeah, buttons also has this background color. And then I don't want any border for these buttons. I want the border radius to be 5 pixel, which is right now not visible because the background is same. So we'll give some highlight also. And for that, first of all, I'll just say that we have the padding 10 pixel, and I think font size would be 2 rem. Okay, sorry, font size would be 2 rem. Okay, around 2 rem. So little bit bigger font size. And what else? We need some text color also. So color would be where text color. That's it. So text color. And also if I hover on these buttons, the cursor would become pointer. So you can see a pointer is here. And after this, I would say that outline on each button would be gone. Suppose if you press this, there is some outline. So on each button, the outline would be gone. That means there would be no line if you click on the button. Okay, now we need the box shadow. Okay, so we would just say we have a box shadow, and let's say 1 pixel, 1 pixel, and 5 pixel spread. Okay, and we are going to say that we have variable where color. It would be color 2. Okay, it would be color 2. So you can see some highlight is here, right? Some highlight is here. What else can you do is you can say that some more towards other side. So you can see, yeah, now it's equivalent, now it's equivalent. Okay, so you can see that's how my buttons are looking, and I can actually just shift this more. That's it. So you can see that's how my buttons look. Okay, that's how my buttons look. Now if I want to say that if I have a equal to button, so you can see equal to button is taking only this space, so I want it to take space of 2 items, space of 2 items. That means this is a grid, each item is taking one amount of space. Suppose I wanted to take space of 2 items, so I would just say that we have the equal button class, right? So we have the equal button class. So I would just say we have dot equal okay, equal button, right? Inside this, guys, I would just say grid column, and I would just say it would be starting from 3 and ending before 5. Okay, so you can see that's how it takes. Okay, that's how it takes. Okay, so it would take this much amount of space. Now I would just say background color would be where color 2. Okay, that's it. Okay, so you can see I have given some separate color, and the text color would be white. Okay, text color would be white. So you can see that's how it actually looks. Okay, now after this, at the end we have the theme switch. So you can see we have the theme switch, and we have to make it like a theme switch, that means like this. So you can see we have the switch, so we have to fix this. Okay, according to this we have to create it. Okay, so we'll come back here and we have to create the switch. For this, guys, I would just say we have the dot theme switch division, right? We have the dot theme switch division outcome here. I'm actually talking about this. I'm talking about this theme switch division. Okay, so we have targeted this, right? So now inside this, guys, what I can say is display is flex, first of all, and I want this theme switch button to be in the right side, that means flex end. Okay, so I'll just say that align item first of all in center, that means it would be in center. Okay, what else can you do is you would just say justify content flex end, that means it would be in last. Okay, it would be in last, so you can see now the elements are in last. Okay, that means the checkbox is now in last, right? Now after this, I would say that I also want some margin from bottom, so I can actually give some margin from bottom if I want. So you can see that's how it actually looks, right? Done. Now after this, we are talking about the label class inside. So you can see that we have this, we are talking about label class. Okay, it's actually theme toggle label, so I'll just copy this. Hi Satvik. Guys, if you have any doubts, you can ask me in the live chat. I'll be looking in the live chat in a while, okay, in some minutes, again and again. So if you feel that I'm ignoring you, no, I'm not ignoring you. You can actually mention your doubts in the live chat, and in every few minutes I'll be looking for your doubts. Okay, now let's continue. We have done this part. We are going to target this theme toggle label. Okay, that means we are going to target this label. Now you will see how we'll create this toggle button. Okay, very interesting. So we have to first of all say that target this, and then I would just say display is inline block. So first of all we have to make it as inline block. Okay, then I would say it has some width of 40 pixel, and it's like this, width of 40 pixel, and then height of 20 pixel. So I want some cylindrical, you can whatever call it, whatever shape. Okay, so I want somewhat that kind of shape. Okay, circular and oval shape. Okay, oval shape actually. Okay, now I would just say that background color of this would be keypad color to some different color. Okay, so you can see, yeah, we have this. Now we want to give it some border radius, so border radius is 20 pixel. So you can see that that's how it actually looks. Okay, now you might have guessed that we would actually hide this. Okay, right? So let's come back here, and first of all I'll say that from top, actually, let's first of all make the position as a relative. Okay, later on we'll insert a small circle in that toggle. Okay, small circle. So for that we need some position relative at the top, and inside this, for the circle, we would make position absolute. Right now position is relative. And one more thing, if I take my cursor over this, it would become pointer. Okay, now inside the label we are going to create a circle. So that's what I'm going to say, that inside the label we would just use after, so that we don't need an extra tag. After, I would just say that there is no content. Okay, just empty. I would just create a circle. Okay, so first of all I'll just make position as absolute, and then width as 18 pixel and height as 18 pixel. Then I want border radius as 50%, border radius as 50%, and background color as white. No, not white, actually text color. Okay, background color as text color. So whatever is my text color, I would just pass it here. So you can see that my button actually looks like this. Okay, you can see we have a circle, and then we have the label. Okay, it looks like this. Okay, so that means our toggle actually is done. And one more thing which I can do is I would just shift it a little bit to the top. So top 1 pixel, that means it would shift according to this label. Okay, that means it was actually too low, that's why I'm shifting this, and it would shift towards the left like this, 1 pixel. That's it, little bit shift. Okay, it's not noticeable, but still there is some shift. Okay, that's it. And now I would just say that the input inside this theme switch would be having display as none. Okay, so I'll just say that the input inside this won't be having any display. Okay, so display as none, that's it. Okay, so you can see if I click on this, automatically the checkbox would be targeted. We don't need to do anything, right? That's it. Okay, now what I have to do is if I just Okay, one more thing, if I just if I comment this, okay, if I comment this, suppose if I comment this control and slash, so you can see if I click on this, you can see it gets checked and unchecked. That means even if I hide this, it would get checked and unchecked. Okay, now our only main task is to move this, to actually move this circle towards left or right, left or right. That's what I want. Okay, so what I'll say is if the checkbox is checked, okay, that means if the input, if the theme switch input, okay, is actually checked, okay, is actually checked, then I would move the circle towards right side. Okay, so I would just say that if it's checked, though, so I would just say in the theme label class, okay, in the theme label class, so you can see in the theme toggle label class, just copy this, okay, in the theme toggle label class, after of that, that means the circle, okay, that means the circle, I want to just translate, okay, I would just translate, okay, so trans, okay, we have to transform, I'm sorry, transform and then translate X, and then I would just make it 20 pixel. Okay, so now let's try this. So if I click on this, so you can see, yeah, now it's moving. You can see now it's moving. Okay, so I hope you understood how it actually works. If it's checked, so it would move towards the right side, translate like that, else it would become normal. Okay, that's what I've said here. And now if you want to add some transition also on move, so you can actually do that by simply saying in the after part, if you click this, if you make some changes after that, so you would actually do things there. Okay, so what I'm saying in the on transform, I would just make some transition, so a little bit of smoother transition, so you can see a little bit of smoother transition. Okay, that's it. Now at the end I would just hide this, so we don't really need this input. I would just hide this, automatically check and uncheck would be done. You can see it's very easy, right? It's very easy. And what else can I do is pointer events as none. Let's check. So okay, anyways, I'm getting this. Anyways, okay, it's because of my browser. Anyway, so you can see that it's done. Okay, now suppose if I want to apply dark theme, okay, suppose I want to apply a dark theme, so what I will do is I'll simply change the colors. Okay, so I'll just copy these colors for now, I'll just comment this part, and let's change the colors now, okay, for the dark theme. So what colors have I picked are simple colors, again from the colors website, from this color website I simply picked some theme colors, and again I would just paste those colors. Okay, so the colors are actually very simple. We are actually working on this. Yes, we need dark theme. Suppose now we are talking about the dark theme, so how it would look. So first of all, for the dark theme I want the bg color as this one, so you can see that it looks like this. Now I want the text color like this. Okay, I want the keypad color like this, and I want the keypad bg color too like this. Okay, so you can see that's the dark theme, that's exactly the dark theme. That means using JavaScript I'm going to just convert these to these. That's it. That's what actually dark theme and light theme would do. Okay, so now let's go back to light theme, because by default I want light theme. Okay, later on we'll use JavaScript for dark theme, right? So now we would use JavaScript to actually target this. But first of all, let me just do one more thing, that is let's see. Okay, this is it. Fine. So we want to say that whenever I click on this button, that means whenever there is a click on this, then only change the theme, so we would say first of all import the JavaScript. Here I would just say import the JavaScript, that script.js file. Right now it's empty, we are going to write code inside this. Okay, so we'll say first of all that we have to change the theme, right? That means whenever I click on theme toggle, what is theme toggle? We are simply talking about this input. You can see we have this id as theme toggle, so I'll just copy this, and let's say const theme toggle equals, and I would just say document dot get element by id, inside this just provide theme toggle. Okay, just provide the theme toggle id. This is the id, right? So now I have targeted this input element. That means on check and uncheck we can actually do manipulations. How we can do this? First of all, we would say that if I check and uncheck, so we would just say theme toggle dot add event listener. That means whenever I make any change, that means whenever there is a change, okay, whenever I check or uncheck, whenever there is a change, just call this function, so I'm just going to call this function. That's it. I would just say that if it is checked, if I am checking it, that means what I want to convert it into dark mode. Okay, that means I want it to be light to dark, light to dark. That's what I want. If I'm checking it, that means I'm performing this. That means I want it to be from light to dark. If I again click this, I want it to be light, from dark to light. Okay, that's how I actually want things. So here I would simply say I want to just say that document. That means I would target the whole document dot document element dot set attribute. And guys, inside this you just need to provide bg color. What background color I want for the dark background? I want the bg color as this one. So you can see we have bg color as this one. For dark one, I have this bg color, right? That's what I've said. So I'm just saying if theme changes, that means I check this, that means I want the color to change. I want the color to change. Okay, so now let's refresh first of all. So if I check this, okay, right now it's not working. Why it's not working? Because we haven't targeted it. Okay, we haven't targeted. Let me just check if it's able to go here. Okay, so here in the right click part, we would simply go to the console. That means inspection menu, we would go to the console, and you can see that unknown property. Okay, document. Okay, we did one mistake. It's actually dot style. Okay, so dot style dot set attribute. Okay, so now if I click on this, set property. Okay, it's set property. Okay, now it would work. So I'm just saying that background color would be having this. Okay, so I'm just setting property. If I click on this, you can see that background color changes. And in the opposite case, that means uncheck, that means else case, what I want is I want the background color to be this one. That means I'm talking about this color. Okay, I want the background color to be this if I'm talking about light theme. So now let's see. So if I click on this, click. So you can see light and dark actually work like this, right? So similarly, I'm going to paste all the colors which I want to change. So I'm going to paste all the colors which I want to change. That's it. So you can see that if I click on this, all the colors would change. Okay, these are the same colors which I mentioned here. This is for the dark, this is for the light. Okay, so for the light case, we are coming here. So you just say for the light case, that means from dark to light, I want these. Okay, so if I click on this, it would become dark, it would become light. That's how things actually work between light and dark. Okay, so I hope you understood this part. Now what else do we want is, suppose I am in dark mode, but if I refresh, so you can see again came back to light mode. That's what is very annoying. And in a lot of websites, you can see if you are in dark mode, you would stay in dark mode. How that actually happens? It actually happens because of local storage. Okay, so we are just going to create a temporary variable in our local storage in our browser, which would actually store some values, either the theme is dark or light. So I'll just say const stored theme equals local storage dot get item and theme. So I would just create a variable named as theme. Okay, either it would be dark, it would be light. So I would just say that if I am saying that from light it became dark, that means I'm just going to set my theme variables value. So local storage, and I would just say theme variables value would be dark. And if I am going from dark to light, that means this case I would just say theme variable would be having theme as light. That's it. So you can see right now I've set the variable values, but how am I getting colors accordingly? So as soon as my page loads, that means this refresh, I want to look that what was my last saved variable value. So you can see in this case, what would be the value of theme? The value of theme would be dark. If I suppose change it, now the value of theme would be light. So we have to look whenever we refresh the page. Suppose I left it on dark. Whenever we refresh the page, we have to look for the value of this toggle theme. According to this, we would show things. Okay, so I would just copy this part, and I would just come here and I would just paste it. Okay, and in this time, I would just say if theme toggle equals suppose if it's dark. Okay, if it's dark, then I would set these colors, else I would set these colors. That's it. Okay, and you actually don't need them now, so you can remove this. Okay, you are just showing data on reload, and this is for the button click. Okay, so now suppose if I make it dark and if I refresh, so you can actually see that it's not really working here. Okay, so the problem here is we are not able to set it. Okay, let me just refresh. Okay, maybe now it would work. So if I now refresh, so you can see it's not setting the theme. Okay, why it's not setting the theme? Because okay, it's actually stored theme. Okay, one mistake which I did here is stored theme. Okay, I'm sorry. we are talking about stored theme. Okay, so stored theme equals dark. If stored theme is dark, then only set these colors. That means if last theme was dark, if last theme, last variable value was dark, and you close the website and you open the website again, so it must remain dark. That's what I've said. That means it would look for the last value. If it was dark in the last value, that means in local storage it was saved as dark, so I would show these colors, else I would show these colors. Okay, so suppose right now what I want is, you can see that one more problem is here actually. Can see that the toggler is not moving. Toggler is not moving. Why it's not moving? Because uncheck and not check is not performed here. You can see that by default if the checkbox is unchecked. So what I want is, in the case of dark, if suppose I left it on dark and I restarted the website, I want it to be checked. That means it's already dark, so I want it to be checked. So I would just say theme toggle dot checked equals true. That's it. Okay, so suppose now if I uncheck and if I reload the website, it would stay unchecked. If I just reload, if I just check now and if I reload, so you can see it would stay checked. Okay, that's how it actually works. So dark theme and light theme, I hope the concept is clear to you. Now we are going to complete this project. One last, how did you equal? Okay, equal to button is just because of grid. Okay, just because of grid. Let me just show you. What I did was, for all the buttons, first of all, for all the buttons, what have I done is, you can see this is for all the buttons. So you can see keys. I would say that in each row, I would show 4 items equally spaced. In each row, I would show 4 items equally spaced. So you can see 4 items, 4 item, 4 item, 4 item. The problem is we didn't had equal. That means we had equal to here. If I just remove the style of equal to, so you can see we had 4, 8, 12, 16, and this is what, 19. Okay, 19, right? 19. So we have 19 buttons. If we had 20 buttons, so it would perfectly fit here. We had 19 buttons. So what I want is, I wanted to expand. That means I want this equal to take the size of two columns. Okay, two columns. Okay, two columns. So you can actually see that's what I have done here. So I have said that equal button, my equal button would be taking size of 2 columns. That's it. That's how grid actually works, right? So I've simply said, just skip the first, skip the second, start from third, and end before 5. Okay, end before 5. Okay, end before 5. That's what I mean. Okay, that means take the space for third and fourth column. That's what I've said. Okay, I hope now you understood this. So this is for the equal button logic. Now let's come here in the script.js. Now one more important thing which is pending here is what? So remember, now we are creating a calculator, so we have to click buttons. We have to click on buttons, and according to that we have to show data, right? So for that I'm going to create some functions, and I'm going to call that functions into our HTML page. So I'll just, okay, now from here I would say that first of all, let result. Okay, so let result, where is my result shown? My result is actually shown inside my input. Okay, inside my input, you can see inside my input my result must be shown. So you can see the ID of that is result. So what I've said is, just target this. First of all, I've targeted that. Now it would create some buttons. So function, and first function would be append to result. So whatever number you pass here, whatever value, whatever number or sign you pass here, I would just show it to my input. Okay, I would just show it to my input. So I would just say that result, whatever value is already there in my input, get the value and add the new value. Suppose 2 was already written, and after that you have written 3. That means you are trying to write 23. So first you will write 2. So suppose 2 was already there, and then you would add the new value to this, append the new value to that. Okay, so equals plus equals value. That means I'm saying previously if it was 2, now I'm appending the new value. That means 2 and 3, 23. Suppose after this I just wrote the plus sign. So 2, 3 and plus. That's how it actually works, right? So we have to now call this function. Okay, similarly we are going to have one more function. That is play button sound, which would always play when we are trying to press a button. Okay, that means we are going to play a sound. So or just create a function here, play button sound. Just close this, and here I'm just going to first of all leave it empty. We are going to write that later on. So play button sound would be called whenever I press a button. Okay, whenever I do a pressure. Okay, similarly we're going to have a backspace button which would just clear out the last thing. That means if you have just written one number, so it would remove that number, all the previous data would be here. Okay, so backspace, so I'm just going to say, suppose we have a function named as backspace. Okay, backspace. Okay, just open this, and inside this I'm just going to say that if result dot value, whatever it is, I'm just going to remove the last thing. For example, if 23 is written, if I press the back button, 3 would be removed. That means 2 would still be there. That's what I want. That means I'm going to slice the value by 1. Okay, so I would just say, I would just remove the last value. Okay, so value, okay, value dot slice. That means old value would be sliced. Okay, slice, and inside this I would just pass 0 comma -1. That's it. So I'm just saying that whenever I press on this back button, this one, that means I want to just remove the last digit or last icon, number, whatever you want. Okay, that means what I've said is whatever thing is inside my string. Suppose my string is like 2 3 plus 1 0 3 4 equals, suppose this is my string. Suppose if I press the back button, okay, actually not this one, okay, if I press the back button, that means I want to remove 4. If I press the back button, I want to remove 3, like that. Okay, so that's how the back button would work. I'm not clearing all things, I would just remove the last digit. That's what I want. And one more thing is, I would play the button sound because I'm pressing this, okay, I'm pressing this button, back button, right? Similarly, we're gonna have the clear result. Okay, clear result would be very easy. I'm just saying, just remove everything. That means just make the value as blank. Just make the value as blank. That's what I've said here, right? And at the end we would have the calculate function. So we have the calculate function, so function calculate, and here I'm just going to say whatever is inside my input, that is inside my result, I just want to calculate that. Suppose 2 plus 3 is inside my result, I just want to calculate that. So for that we actually have eval function built in JavaScript. Okay, we have an inbuilt eval function. So I would just say try, first of all try, and I would just say catch. We are using try catch so that if there is an error, our website won't crash. I would just get the error and everything would be working fine still. Okay, so catch error, E stands for error, and here I would just say that whatever is the error, if suppose there is an any error, so I would just say in my input I would just show a text like error. Okay, I would just show a error text, okay, like this, okay, like this. So if there is an error, suppose you are making some bad calculation, so you just get this message, return here, return here. That's what I've said, right? Now in the try part, I would just say that if suppose the result is empty, that means you can see right now it's empty, we haven't written anything here, right? We haven't written anything here. If I haven't written anything here, if I press equal to, that means I am calling the calculate function. So what must be shown? So 0 can be shown. Okay, so that's what I'm saying, that if the value was empty, if the value here was empty, then I would just show 0, or you can leave it empty, you can just leave it empty, whatever you want. Okay, that's totally up to you. I'll just save it as 0. Okay, but if there was some value, that means about 2 plus 3 was there, so I would just reval. Okay, I would just eval. Okay, so I would just say that the new value of this input would be the total of old values. So eval, and inside this result dot value. So this would be what? This would be string of data. That means 2 plus 3 string. I'm just evaluating it. This is a function which is inbuilt in JavaScript. That means 2 plus 3 would be calculated, and then I would just show the result. If the 2 plus 3 is invalid, suppose 2 plus 3 is invalid, then I would get the error. Suppose if I just say 2 plus 3 into, that means after into I haven't written any digit. So this is an invalid operation, right? So I would just show this. I would just show the error directly. Okay, that's how it actually works. Now at the end, what I want is, I want one more thing, that is to play the sound. Okay, to play the sound. So for that I want to target the audio tag. So I want to target the audio tag. This is my audio tag, and this is the ID for that audio tag. Okay, so I'm just going to say const button sound, and I'm just targeting this audio tag. That's it. And then I would just say I would just say that if I suppose pressed on this button, if I just pressed on this button, that means audio would start playing. But immediately I pressed on this button, so I don't want the old audio to play. I just wanted to start from scratch. So I would just say start from scratch. So button sound dot current time. That means if I pressed on 4 5 buttons at the same time, so audio would be played 5 times. That's what I mean. Okay, so current time equals 0, and then I would just play the audio. That's it. Okay, so that's it. And one more thing is, I just need to call this on calculate. Okay, so I would just call it here. so that it's called whenever I press the calculate button. Okay, that's it. So now we are going to just assign these functions to our buttons. Okay, to our buttons. So the number one task which we needed to do is first of all we have the backspace. Okay, so first of all we have the backspace. So we are just saying that if I press on this back, that means we are going to call the backspace function. That's what I've said. Okay, that means you would just clear out one by one, clear out things one by one. Okay, then after that we are saying that if AC is pressed, that means we are going to call clear result. We are going to call clear result. That means which one? So you can see I'm calling uh it's actually clear result. Okay, so clear CLEARRESULT. That means if I press on AC, I am calling this. That means I'm just clearing all the values. That means on input, on input bar, nothing would be shown. Okay, and just audio would be placed. Okay, that's it. So now come back here. This is for the clear result. Now we have to show the values. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm just simply going to say that append to result function would be called and the value would be sent. That's what I'm saying. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So append to result would be called and the value would be sent. Okay, so now let's try this. So if I press 7 8 7 8 9 like this. Okay, so you can see I'm pressing the buttons and according to this I'm getting digits. Okay, I'm getting digits, right? And if I press back, so you can see back is also working now. If I press AC, you can see AC is also working. Okay, and same for the light theme, everything is working, everything is same, right? Now after this, at the end, one more thing is here, we have to just calculate the result. Okay, so for the equal button we have to pass the calculate function. Okay, so I would just say that it would have the calculate function. Okay, that means if I type 7 minus 9, so if I press equal to, so you can see I'm getting the result. This is because if I press this, calculate function is called, right? And inside this I'm just calculating the result. That's it. Okay, but suppose if I say if I just press all clear, suppose if I try to calculate data like this. Okay, so if I press equal, so you can see I'm getting error. That means it's perfect. I'm getting error. I'm getting error. That means it's perfect. But here if I press back, you can see it's pressing one by one. So in the backspace part, I have to add one more condition. That means that if result dot value equals error, so just if someone tries to press back on that, just make everything empty. That means if suppose there is an error, okay, suppose there is an error, if I press back, so I would remove everything. Okay, so now you can see that this project is actually completed, and I hope you understood this video. You can see that if I say on empty, you can see right now it's empty. If I press equal to, you can see I'm getting 0. Okay, so this is actually because of the logic which we have created here, right? So now the project is actually completed. But won't the calculator should work for dark theme? Like what if we want to make it disabled at dark theme? I'm really not able to understand what we are trying to say, but let me just show you what we did right now. So you can see when you start the project, it would open something like this. Okay, or it would open something like this. Let me just close everything. Okay, so when you start the project, it would open something like this. Okay, fresh project. Now what I've said is if I make the theme as dark theme would work, but I've also saved it as in local storage. Why we have saved it in local storage? Because once you close this and you reopen the website after 5 days or 10 days, you still want the dark theme, right? You don't want the white theme and you would again switch to dark theme. So we have simply used local storage, and whenever we load the application, we load the website, first of all the stored theme variable would give me light or dark, whatever is the value. In this case the value was dark, right? Value was dark, that's why it was just showing me dark theme by default. Okay, suppose now if I leave it light and I close my website again. Okay, I close my website again and I open it after 5-10 days, so it would be in my browser's local storage, and you can see my default theme is now light. Okay, so this is for like better user experience, that's why I have used local storage, right? So now guys, I'll upload the source code into my GitHub profile. So first of all, let me just create a GitHub profile, a GitHub repository here. So I'll just say that it's neumorphic clock. Okay, what if we want the calculator to off mode? Yeah, you can actually do that. You can what you can do is again, this is also a very good suggestion, what you can do is, here we are storing theme, right? Theme is storing just a string, dark or light. Similarly, you can create a local variable which would be containing on or off string. Okay, what you're going to say is, similar to this toggle switch, you are going to create one more toggle switch. On that, we can manipulate things. Okay, we can manipulate things similar to this. Okay, we can manipulate things, we can change the value of this variable on and off, on and off. And then I would say, if the value of that variable is off, so I can just make these disabled, these functions disabled. That means nothing would work. Okay, calculator is off. Okay, like that. So if you want to do that, then you can just create one more variable and you can say that calculator is off. So the value of that variable would be off. If the value of that variable would be off, that is in local storage, if it's off, then you can't perform these functions. So you can actually add conditions to these functions. Okay, like that. So you can definitely do that also, similar to the toggle switch which we did for light and dark theme. Similar to that, you can do it for our functions also. Hi fan from Vietnam. Oh, that's great. People are from Vietnam also, right? That's great. Okay, thanks for watching. Okay, finally I'll just upload the source code. So neumorphic clock, and it's in HTML, CSS, JS. Someone actually asked how much React is necessary to start Next.js. Actually, it's not too different. When you start React.js, when you complete React.js, after that you have to do Next.js. That means, if I take you to the official website of Next.js, actually React.js, if I type React.js, okay, if I type React.js, just notice one thing. Here you would just go to learn React and installation, and you can see that next, and you can see they are mentioning create next app. This is for creating a Next.js project. That means React.js official website is itself mentioning that please use Next.js. That's a framework of React. That means everything which you have learned in React.js would be still usable in Next.js. Next.js just has some extra features. Okay, just extra features which makes Next.js better. Okay, so complete React.js is required, but definitely you would learn something in Next.js which is extra than React.js. Okay, so complete React.js would be required to learn, to actually know more about Next.js, because they are exactly same. Next.js is totally based on React.js. So complete React.js is required. Then after that, you would learn some extra features which are available in Next.js. That's it. That's all about Next.js. Okay. Right. So the repo is created, CSS. Okay. CSS.js. Okay. Fine. So I'll just create this and I'll share the link also. All of the files are actually available here. I'm pursuing MCA. Now I want to begin my journey as a front-end developer. I'm done with HTML, CSS. Which topic of JS should I start with? Complete JavaScript. Complete JavaScript. There's no question. You have to do the complete JavaScript part, because after that you are mentioning that you are going to learn about merge stack, right? So merge stack is just MongoDB, Express, React, and Node.js. All these use JavaScript. Okay, so you need to master JavaScript, at least learn all of the concepts of JavaScript, functions, error handling, and then basics of variables, then oops concepts, objects, like that. So you need to know a complete knowledge of JavaScript. Okay, I would say complete knowledge of JavaScript would be great, because if you want to become a stack developer, you must be good in JavaScript first, then you would jump to merge stack. And merge stack is just like you need to learn MongoDB, Express, React, and Node.js. So what you can do is, suppose you learned about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, so this was your front end. Then you need some backend language, so you would be using Node.js Express for backend, right? So the first step was HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Second step is Node.js Express and MongoDB for the backend part and database. Okay, so second step is MongoDB, Express, and Node.js, these three things. Third step is you would be learning a front-end framework, that is framework or library, that is React.js or Next.js or Angular. Okay, but for merge stack you would be learning React.js or Next.js. Okay, so these are the three steps, and the fourth step is just combine this front-end that is in React.js and Next.js, React.js or Next.js, with Node.js, Express, MongoDB. Okay, so HTML, CSS, JavaScript is just for the basics. Later on you will be learning Node.js, Express, MongoDB, and after that you would be learning React.js and Next.js, and you would be using these four things, that means React.js or Next.js, along with MongoDB, Node.js, and Express. Okay, so that's a short overview, but you can watch videos on that, and I think I've created videos on that, so you can watch video on that, and that's a very separate topic. Expected salary. Expected salary is just like I'm not really sure about the expected salary, but it's really great. It's really great. What I would say is once you start learning Merge Stack, please try to do some freelance projects because they would really help you a lot and it would add up to your portfolio. Okay, so expected salary is different for different regions. Okay, it's actually project based or company based. I can't really say this is the amount of salary which you always get. Okay, and one more thing, the trend is always changing. Right now Merge is trending, but after an year Merge might not be trending. Okay, or maybe trending more. Okay, I don't know exactly, okay, but right now it's trending. You must learn one stack. Later on, maybe Golang is trending or Rust is trending, so you have to learn that also, okay. So if you are wondering right now that if you just learn one stack, then you would get a job. Yes, you would get a job, but there they would teach you something else also. Maybe Golang, maybe Rust, whatever requirements they need for their websites. Okay, so that's totally dependent on the company. Also, they would provide you salary according to their work, not according to your skills. Okay. Hmm. Does GFG conduct any live sessions on MongoDB currently? On MongoDB currently, we don't conduct any live sessions, but yeah, you can check the Geeks for Geeks development channel. We had some playlists there. You can check out that channel's playlist. There are some MongoDB, Node.js, and Express playlists which would help you a lot. Okay, for the complete backend, right? So yeah, let's finally upload this source code. Okay, so what I would do is I would just push it to my GitHub profile. Yep. So git add dot git commit m commit m final and git push. Okay. So guys, now I've uploaded the source code. What you can do is to get the source code, you just need to visit my GitHub profile, or I would provide the link also. github.com/viraj014. This is my GitHub profile. And here you can go to the repositories, and in the repository, yeah, you can follow me here also in my GitHub profile. You have my social media handles also. So in this, you can see we have new Morphic clock HTML CSS JS. If you don't find this, you can just search the name here. You would find this. Okay, so just click on this and you would get all the files, including the audio file also. Okay, I couldn't share you the audio here, like noise or voice of my audio which I am clicking on the button. That means whenever I click on the button, there is some audio which is playing, but due to this live session I can't share that. But anyways, once you click on this, you would get the audio also, and then every data is here, and whenever I click on the button in my website, in my calculator, that audio would play. We have applied that logic. Okay, so you can test that on your own. The source code is totally available here. Okay, I'll also share this in the live chat so you can get it from there, and also in the uh, description or in the comment we'll provide the link for this repository. Okay, so it's totally free. You can check out the source code. Right, so guys, I hope you understood this video. I'll see you in the next week, that means next Monday, with some other project. It's already scheduled, so you can check other projects also which are already scheduled in this channel. So I will see you in the next one, and please do give me some suggestions on projects for HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or if you want to learn merge stack, then please just कमेंट कर दो, बिल्कुल बहुत सारे कमेंट कर दो. जस्ट गिव एज मच कमेंट्स एज यू कैन. ओके, सो आई विल सी यू इन द नेक्स्ट वन. टिल देन, हैव अ गुड डे. बाय बाय.